Okay, students, we'll see the solutions of class 10. So first question. Okay, a group of students were playing near the garden. They observed a plant bearing buds in the notches along the leaf margin. So as it mentioned that the plant is an example for asexual reproduction, observe the image and choose the correct answer. So indirectly they're asking, okay, find out the picture and like observe the picture and find out the correct answer. So that is the exact question. So it's it's a very direct question actually. So it's nothing but this. This is called bryophyllum, right? So this leaf, so they perform this vegetative propagation. Yeah, vegetative propagation where it produces some buds in the margins of leaf, and each bud will be developing into a new individual. So that is the vegetative propagation. So it's a type of asexual reproduction. So the example, so the picture given here is bryophyllum. Second question, assertion. Assertion is most of the photosynthesis takes place in the blue and red region of the spectrum. Reason, chlorophyll A is the chief pigment associated with photosynthesis. So they're asking, so most of the photosynthesis takes place in the blue-red region, yes. So the thing is, so chlorophyll is a green pigment, green colored pigment, right? That's why the leaves appears green in color. So in this case, this blue and red region, so that this blue region, if you take this blue region, so they have a wavelength around 450 nanometer. And this red region, they have wavelength around 650 nanometer. Okay. So they if you take this blue light, so they have very short wavelength, but they have very high energy. If you take this red region, they have long wavelengths, but their energy is less. So this photosynthesis, so they are more active. The rate of photosynthesis is more high in the blue and red region of the spectrum. So you know the spectrum, right? That visible spectrum when white light passes through a prism forms a spectrum. So then each color light have different wavelength. So that's what, so this photosynthesis that takes place in blue and red region, okay, where the wavelength will be 450 and red wavelength will be 650, okay. Yes, if we take this chlorophyll, what is it? So this is correct. Actually, the assertion is correct. We take the reason. Reason, if we take reason, the chlorophyll A is the chief pigment associated with photosynthesis. Okay, so this chlorophyll A, yes. So there are different pigments like chlorophyll B, okay. Then carotenoids are there. Then xanthophyll are there. Okay, so there are different pigments out of which this chlorophyll A is the chief pigment. Okay, so that's what like it's more like it's a first thing. It's a necessary pigment for photosynthesis to happen. The chlorophyll B and carotenoids, xanthophyll and all, they are accessory pigments. So reason is also correct. Assertion A is also correct. So we'll see whether some connection or not. So if we take in case of this connection, yes, this chlorophyll A, as it is a green pigment, they, the green light is reflected more in the green pigment. So they are not absorbed. Got it now? So as this chlorophyll A has green pigment, they cannot absorb green light. Okay. Instead, the green light is reflected back. That's why. So they are like they absorb in the blue and red region. Got it? So now the answer is A. Both assertion and reason are true, but the reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Third question, third one, hormones stored and released from neurohypophysis. So what is that? What is a neurohypophysis? Neurohypophysis is nothing but it's a posterior lobe of pituitary gland. So you know pituitary gland, right? Everyone knows, right? Pituitary gland is nothing but master gland. It's otherwise called as master gland. Why it's called as master gland? Because this pituitary gland controls all other glands in our body, either by stimulating or inhibiting it. So we have different hormones like TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone, FSH, follicular stimulating hormone. Okay, different hormones, LH, luteinizing hormone, various hormones are there or produced in pituitary gland. So they don't have a direct, like they use to stimulate some hormones. They stimulate, either they will stimulate or they will inhibit or control something. Okay. That's why this pituitary gland is called as master gland. And if you take this pituitary gland, so they are present in the hypothalamus region, okay, where there are two lobes, posterior and anterior lobe. So, and if you take this posterior lobe, so that posterior lobe is nothing but neurohypophysis. They're asking, so what is the particular hormones are stored and released from the posterior lobe of photosynthesis? So, in that case, it will be oxytocin and vasopressin. What is this oxytocin? Oxytocin is released during the uterine contraction, during pregnancy, that is delivery, okay, labor. Okay, during the delivery time, so uterine has to be contracted. So that contraction is regulated by this oxytocin hormone. So during that labor time, this oxytocin is released from the pituitary gland. And if you take this vasopressin, vasopressin is otherwise called as ADH hormone. So they control the water reabsorption happens in kidney. So kidneys work, right? Everyone knows you have studied in life process chapter. Kidneys work is to reabsorb water and mineral soil, soil particles and all like sodium, potassium, electrolytes. We used to say electrolytes, right? So those things are reabsorbed with the help of kidney. Okay, so in that particular hormone also plays a role, vasopressin, in which this vasopressin helps in reabsorption of water. Okay, so that is the work of vasopressin. So these two hormones are produced in neurohypophysis, that is posterior lobe of pituitary gland. Got it? So the answer is E. Fourth question: the path of blood flow inside the nephron. So you know nephron, right? So nephron is the structural functional unit of kidneys, where this reabsorption, filtration, reabsorption, secretion, and all takes place. Where at the final concentrated urine are produced. That's why like you're excreting urine every day, right? So that is the work of this nephron. There are millions of nephrons in our kidney, each kidneys. Yes. So they are asking the path, the flow of the root of the function in happens inside nephron. Okay, that means renal artery. Okay, so we'll see. So what is this renal artery? Renal artery, so artery is a vessel, blood vessel which carries oxygenated blood. Vein carries deoxygenated blood. Okay, same thing. Renal means renal is nothing but kidney. Okay, renal artery. Through that, so you know this nephron structure, right? I will draw a rough diagram. And if you take this now, this is glomerulus actually. So there is one inlet and one outlet will be there. The inlet will be afferent, outlet will be efferent. Okay, and they have this PCT, DCT, Henle's loop, and lastly they have this collecting duct and all. Okay, what is this afferent and efferent? Afferent arteriole that collects, that brings the blood for filtration. Okay, then the filtration takes place in the exact place called glomerulus or glomeruli. Then after that, after the filtration, the filtrate will remain in the Bowman's capsule. The blood will exit through efferent arteriole. Got it? Then after that, through capillaries, they reach the vasa recta. Okay. You know, vasa recta is surrounding nephrons. Okay? They go to the vasa recta region and they go along the through the capillaries. And lastly, they have this renal vein which carries the deoxygenated. So that blood will be going for deoxidation as they are deoxygenated. So they are going for oxygenation process where it is taken through vein to the heart and to lungs and inside the alveoli. All the process happens again. It will through artery, then it will circulate it through all over the body. That is the circulation process, right? But here They're asking like only the circulation, what is that, pathway in kidneys. So to take other, like why not other options? So in the second option, we'll see renal artery, efferent arteriole. No, it should be afferent arteriole, then only efferent arteriole. Okay, because efferent is going out, it's outlet. Afferent arteriole is inlet. So B option is wrong. To take C, renal artery, afferent arteriole, glomeruli, efferent arteriole, renal vein. Then finally, only so they are like renal vein is the final thing where the deoxygenated blood is collected and it is circulated towards the heart. So that is the final. Renal vein should be the final one. Okay, we'll see the D option also. Renal artery, afferent arteriole. It has to go to glomeruli. After that only, so it can reach efferent arteriole. So this order is wrong here. So the correct option will be A. So that is the correct path. Renal artery, afferent arteriole, glomeruli, afferent arteriole, capillaries of vasa recta, renal vein. Okay. Fifth question. Select the incorrect statement. Okay. So they have asked you to find the incorrect statement. So we'll see what are the incorrect statements, what are the correct statements. Okay. Before kidney transplantation, blood group matching is important. So yes, of course, this like we take this kidney transplantation. So many matching like typing, then tissue matching, blood group matching is a must thing for any transplant, not only for kidney transplantation, can be done for any transplantation. If it is like skin organ, any organ, heart. Okay, sometimes the skin, the, what is that? So the some other part like if your people will be having some plastic surgery issues, so they have to do some plastic surgery and they have to take flesh from some other parts like thighs and all, and they used to replace the skin. Okay, in that case also they require some blood matching, tissue matching and all. Okay, likewise here. So before kidney transplantation, blood grouping is blood group matching is important. Likewise, tissue matching is also important. So this is a correct statement actually. Next, for hemodialysis, hemolyzing unit is used. Yes, there is a dialysis is the process where the where it is done. It's done artificially. The kidneys work is done artificially. Okay, in with the help of any instrument. So there are two dialysis. One major one is hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis. So it is done usually for the patient who has kidney failure. Got it. So this hemodialysis is where the blood, so it is circulated, like it is taken through a machine known as hemolyzing unit, where the blood is circulated and all this filtration, reabsorption, every process will take place and the urine will be produced. So that is the work of dialysis. So they are asking like hemodialysis unit is used. Yes, of course. So without hemodialysis units, the process cannot be done. Okay. Artificial kidneys contain a number of tubes with a semi-permeable lining. So they have these artificial kidneys. So that is nothing but dialysis only. So they contain number of tubes with semi-permeable lining. So it is like a dialysis thing, okay, where the where artificial, the prosthetic things will be used to for it's like a kidney only. There are more tubes. Like it will do the same work of kidney. Okay. So this is also a correct statement. So then what is correct? None of these is a correct. Okay. Why? Because all statement are correct. So none of these. Sixth question. Match the following and select the correct statement. Okay. We'll see. We'll match and see. Okay. Select the correct statement. So you have to from the options you have to select which option goes correct. Yes. If you take small intestines, so they have enzyme called trypsin. Okay, trypsin is an enzyme which is produced in small intestine, helpful in digesting proteins. Okay. Then if you take liver, it's bile. Because bile is produced in liver, it's for the emulsification of fat. Okay, next buccal cavity. Buccal cavity, so nothing but they have the saliva. So that is salivary amylase. Okay. And the last one, stomach. So they have the enzyme called pepsin. Okay. So they have this stomach have this pepsin enzyme So it will be in inactive form, that is pepsinogen, that will be activated by HCl. Got it. So HCl activates the pepsinogen to pepsin. Okay, so that will help in digestion of proteins. Okay, so this is the correct option. We'll see A 3, B 4, C 1, D 2. So option C is correct. Eighth question. When we unknowingly touch a very hot object, this heat is sensed by cells A in our hand. This generates action potential in the neuron B, which carries it to structure C, which is protected inside vertebral column. Now, this structure immediately reacts to the condition and sends immediate response to the neuron D. So, to some appropriate organ. Inside the structure C, the neuron B is connected to neuron D with another neuron. Select the correct option about the identification of A, B, C, D, E. So they have asked they have given a case question, case study question like that. So it's about the like the pathway, that is reflex action pathway, the reflex arc actually. So they have asked about it. So they asked you to find what is ABD, and in this case you have to find uh, like which of the options is applicable for the respective alphabets. Got it? Yes. So in this case, as the question is very bit lengthier, so you can see through options. Okay, so that is like quick way, smart way. Okay, so if you take this option A, in option A they have given A as thermoreceptor cells, okay, C as central nervous system, and B as sensory cell. Okay, so we'll see any one of this. Okay, we'll take the C, central nervous system. Now we'll go to the paragraph. Okay, so we'll see what is actually. So they are telling this just generates action potential in the neuron B, which carries to a structure C. Okay, which is protected inside vertebral column. Okay, vertebral column, like here they have given central nervous system. Central nervous system, we know that it includes CNS, that it includes spinal cord and brain, right? So it should be either spinal cord or brain. So here what they have given, which is protected inside vertebral column. So which will be protected inside vertebral column? That will be spinal cord, not brain. So vertebral column is known as spine thing. Okay. So that spinal cord is protected inside the vertebral column. So C should be spinal cord. Okay. But they have given central nervous system. Okay. Anyway, we'll keep this as like we'll keep for aside. We'll check any other thing. Okay. This C option also has this C spinal cord, and D option also has this C spinal cord. Okay, then we'll see another option. Okay, we'll take E. Okay, E motor neuron. So they have given like, so this structure immediately reacts to the condition and sends immediate response through neuron D to appropriate organ. Okay, so identify the, so inside the structure C, the neuron B is connected to neuron D with another neuron E. Okay, so it means like E is another neuron, that means motor neuron. So like the last thing will be motor neuron only. So we'll see this E has this motor neuron. This also have motor neuron. Okay. So now we will check like it will check this B option and D option. Okay. Yes, C spinal cord, E motor neuron. Okay, what about this D? Here they have given D as motor neuron. Okay, we'll see what is D here. Okay, immediate response through the neuron D to appropriate organ. So we can get a confusion like it can be like to appropriate organ. They have told it's through neuron D. So now we will see a pathway actually. It is through sensory neuron. Okay. Then the impulses travel through relay neuron, right? So relay neuron is present in spinal cord, and from relay neuron, it is carried through motor neuron, and lastly, they have this receptor neuron. So the receptor is here, and here they have this effector. Okay, so through sensory neuron, it is carried to relay neuron, and from relay neuron, it is carried through motor neuron to the effector. So that is the actual pathway. That is the reflex arc. Okay. So if you take here, so D can be either motor neuron or it can be relay neuron. Relay neuron sometimes it's called as interneuron also. Okay. Okay, fine. Inside the structure C, the neuron B is connected to neuron D with another neuron E. Anyway, this motor neuron should be final. Okay. It can be E, but it cannot be D because after that D, one more neuron is there. Okay. So D will be relay neuron. So in the C option, they have given D as motor neuron. So this particular C option is not correct. So we have deleted one option. C is not correct. We take here, this D they have given interneuron. Okay. Then now we will check. So maybe this can be the correct option. Now we will check the B, sensory neuron. Yes, A in our body, sorry, in our hand, this generates action potential in the neuron B. So A doesn't mean it's neuron. Okay, it can be a receptor. Okay, this neuron B is definitely should be a sensory neuron because it is the first neuron. It carries the impulse. So B is sensory neuron. Okay, so our like right now our assumption is D, option D, because D is interneuron, C is spinal cord, D is sensory neuron, and E motor neuron. So anyway, we'll check C won't come correct. If we take A option, A thermoreceptor cells, yes, that is correct actually. Take C central nervous system. Okay, central nervous system, okay, fine, but we'll see the B option. So they have given sensory cell. So there is nothing like that sensory cell, sensory neuron. So this option is also wrong. We take B option, B sensory neuron. Yes, correct. A sensory cell. So there is nothing like just seeing itself, like we can say sensory cell, here also sensory cell. So there is nothing like that sensory cell. So option A, option B won't be correct. So this option C, this D, they have mentioned it as motor neuron. That's not correct because we have one more thing called E, that will be the motor neuron. So the option D is correct. Got it right? So it's a little bit big question, but it's easy only. So if you know this reflects our pathway, right? So it's easy for you. You can write the pathway now, like whenever you get this kind of questions, you can write the pathway roughly and you can correlate with the options given. Okay. Ninth question. Pranav and friends doing an experiment in which equal amount of glucose are provided to three sealed flasks. So Pranav and one more, like few friends are doing some experiment and they are using three sealed flasks. Yes, three flask. Okay, flask one, flask two, flask three. Okay, we take flask one. So all flasks were sealed. Okay, so they have mentioned it as equal amounts of glucose are there in all flasks. Okay, glucose. So they have this glucose is there, glucose is there, glucose is there. Got it. So flask one has yeast culture with no oxygen supply. In flask one, they have the yeast culture. Okay, so yeast culture with no oxygen, it denotes that it undergoes fermentation. Okay, no oxygen supply, yeast culture is there, so definitely a process called fermentation should be happening. If we take flask two, they have told mammalian muscle tissue with no oxygen supply. This is also fermentation. Okay, That is anaerobic fermentation. So anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration. Here also anaerobic respiration. Okay, where the lactic acid is produced in mammalian muscle, right? So that cause the muscle pain, like muscle cramps. Okay, if we take this flask 3, so they have actively respiring plant cells. So they have sufficient oxygen. So that denotes actually aerobic respiration. Got it? So that's the thing. In flask 1, anaerobic respiration takes place. Flask 2, anaerobic respiration takes place. In flask 3, aerobic respiration takes place. Okay. Now we will see which are the options are correct. Got it. First, so that's the thing. So that's what we understood from the question. So 1 and 2 has anaerobic respiration. 3 has aerobic respiration. Okay. But in one yeast, like fermentation happens in the form of yeast. In second class, mammalian muscles, that is lactic acid formation has occurred. In class 3, aerobic respiration occurs in plant cell. Now we will read the options. Class 1 contain ethanol and carbon dioxide. Yes, yeast, if it is there, na, the fermentation product of yeast will be ethanol and carbon dioxide, correct? Class 2 contain lactic acid. Class 3 contain that will release ATP along with carbon dioxide and water. Yes, it is also correct. So option A is correct. Now we will see the other options also because we have an option called both A and B are correct, but C is incorrect. So we have to check whether the B is also correct or only A is correct. Class 1 and class 2 will yield equal ATP per glucose molecule, while class 3 will yield nearly 18 times more ATP. So actually, it gives the correct answer because class 1 and class 2, they undergo this anaerobic respiration. And in anaerobic respiration, how much ATP is produced? Only 2 ATP. Got it? So they are told, so in class 3 will yield nearly 18 times. That means 2 into 18. That gives 36. So they're telling in flask 3, around 36 ATPs are formed. Yes, it's correct because in class 3, aerobic respiration takes place. Aerobic respiration will yield 36, approximately 36 ATP. Got it? So both option A and B are correct. Okay. So we'll see. Anyway, we'll check. The correct answer will be D. Anyway, we'll check this C option. Class 2 will regenerate NAD plus to sustain glycolysis while class 1 will not. So they are telling like they will generate regeneration. This NADP formation will be happening in aerobic respiration, not anaerobic respiration. That will be happening in this Krebs cycle. That is the second process, second step of process in respiration. First step will be glycolysis. Okay. So they are told like both class 1 and class 2, as they are undergoing anaerobic respiration, they doesn't perform any Krebs cycle, that is NADP, NAD or NADP formation, all they don't do. Okay, so that's the option is wrong. Okay, the correct option will be D. Question number 10. During an experiment, Hanu accidentally pricked his finger with a pen. Okay, or if they're like while doing some experiment, like one student, like accidentally he pricked his finger with a pen. He immediately withdrew his hand even before realizing the pain. Later, he consciously applied ointment to the wound. Which of the following correctly identifies the neural pathways involved? Okay, so first we will understand. Okay, so one student Hanu, okay, accidentally he got some prick. Okay, so suddenly before realizing the pain, like he removes. So that is nothing but reflex action, right? And he is telling like later he consciously applied ointment to the wound. He knows okay whatever happened, like some wound happens na, so we have to apply some ointment so that everyone knows, right? Like a small baby doesn't know, but one grown up child will know, right? Something wound happens na, they have to give some medicine to that. So that's why he is applying some ointment. Okay, so that's consciously means is knowingly he is doing that ointment thing. Okay, so now we will see the options, the statements. The reflex withdrawal was controlled by the spinal cord, involving sensory relay and motor neurons. So definitely it's a reflex arc. Okay? It's controlled by spinal cord. Yes, it's controlled by spinal cord. It involves sensory relay and motor neurons. Yes, the first statement is correct. The conscious application of ointment involve decision-making regions of the forebrain. So it is actually like he knows. I told you right. So a small baby don't know like what happens if some wound happens now. Like we should apply ointment or not. Like a 1 year, 2 year baby, it doesn't know. But a grown up child can know because like he may know his own experience or somebody's experience or some other would have told like parents would have told like if you got any wound you have to apply this ointment or not. So, that information is stored inside his brain already. So, based on that information, okay, so he utilizes the opportunity, right? Like he utilized whenever he saw the ointment, he just or else he will search for ointment and he will apply, right? So, this is also correct. So, decision making, like immediately, like okay, what you have to do? Yes, I've got a wound, I will get an ointment and I will apply on it. Yes. What about the third statement, the midbrain control? Both reflex and voluntary response simultaneously. Midbrain controls both reflex and voluntary response simultaneously. Whether it is the midbrain consists of this hypothalamus. So they don't have any work with reflex action or voluntary response. Got it? So third statement is correct. When you take this medulla, they are responsible for involuntary movement or involuntary actions, not voluntary actions. Got it? So they are given in the statement, they are given voluntary movement. So option 4 is wrong. Okay. So what are the two statements are correct? 1 and 2 1. Got it. So option is A. 11th question. The cerebellum controls posture and balance during voluntary activities like cycling and walking. Yes, you know that the cerebellum is a part of hindbrain. The cerebrum is a part of forebrain. Okay, and that is a major part where the thinking, memory, and analyzing, decision making, etc. All the process will be done in cerebrum. And cerebellum is mainly for posture and balance, which is present in hindbrain. So yes, assertion is correct. Okay. If we take reason, the cerebellum is a part of forebrain. No, it's not a part of forebrain. It's a part of hindbrain. It doesn't relate this hunger, emotion, but no. So the answer is C. Assertion is true. Sorry, assertion is true. Reason is false. The following figure represents direct question. Okay, so it's nothing but regeneration in planaria. 13th question. Statement 1. The process of formation of new organism without fertilization of female gametes is called parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis is nothing but formation of new organisms. Okay, this where there is no fertilization takes place. Okay, so no like fertilization of gametes doesn't take place in parthenogenesis. Got it. So that is statement 1 is correct. Statement 2. The process of syngamy results in formation of gametes. Okay, syngamy is actually formation, not formation of gametes, formation of progeny. Okay, that is actually the correct statement of syngamy will be fertilization of gametes or mating of gametes. Okay, it's not formation of gametes. Okay, the statement 2 is wrong. Statement 1 is correct. So 13B. 14th question. So they have asked you to match the following. Okay. IAA. So that is nothing but oxen. Okay. So oxen. So we'll see any other like if you are confused with like some new terms, we'll see any other like whether it's linked. Okay. If you take ethylene. Ethylene, we all know ethylene is for ripening of roots. C5. And okay, so we'll see the stomatal closure. Stomatal closure is done by abscisic acid. Most of the students know it. Stomatal closure is done by abscisic acid. A is nothing but abscisic acid. So we got two options, B3 and E5. Sorry, C5. Got it. So we'll see where is B3 and C5. Here, 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 but it's not correct here. Here, but it's not correct here. No. Okay, so our assumption is A. We'll check others. Okay, so if you take cytokinin, okay, so that is for herring sperm DNA. Cytokinin is first seen in herring sperm DNA. Got it. And if you take other options like auxin, okay, that is weed-free loss. Okay, so weed-free means like there is no, the weed means unwanted plant or plant parts. So there is no weeds. Okay, weed-free loss. And the last one will be GA, bolting. Bolting nothing but stem elongation. So the correct option will be A. 15th question. Given below are two statements. Statement 1, exane of pollen grain is made up of sporopollenin. Statement 2, in time helps in germination of pollen grain. Okay, we have to find whether both statements are or one statement is wrong or both are incorrect. Take statement 1, exane of pollen grain is made up of sporopollenin. Okay, this pollen grain have two layers, exine, intine. Okay, this exine will be like exine layer of pollen grain is made up of sporopollenin. Intine layer of pollen grain is for germination. So they mainly helpful in the formation of pollen tube. Got it? That helps in the fertilization that the pollen tube is formed. It extends till the ovule, the embryo sac, the double fertilization takes place, all things, right? So they are asking like exine, the outer part is made up of sporopollen. In time, helps in germination of pollen grain. Got it? Okay, in this case, so the correct option will be statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Got it? Identify the correct statement of angiosperms. So it's about the angiosperm. You have to identify. Okay. Development of angiosperm seed occur inside the ovary and fruit. Yes, this seed is developed inside the ovary. Okay. Ovary, then inside that ovary only we have this ovule. That ovule will be developed like it is formed, converted into seed right after fertilization. The first statement is correct. Typical embryo sac in angiosperm is 7-celled and 8 nuclei. Yes. So you know this embryo sac, they have antipodals and synergids and along with egg cell. You draw much clearly. Okay. They have the antipodal and synergids along with egg cell. The center one will be the polar nuclei. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The nucleus will be 8, but the cells are 7. Why? Because there are 7 cells, but the center one, the polar nuclei, will have 2 nucleus. So that's why there are 7 cells. You can count it above 3, below 3. Center one is 1, so 7, but 8 nucleated. Got it? Free nuclear division occur during embryogenesis in angiosperms. Okay, so free nuclear division, so they occur like the nuclear division like doesn't takes place like it's not very common like all nuclear division will take place in during the embryogenesis. Got it? So that's not correct. Filiform apparatus present in ovule secretes chemicals which attract pollen tube toward synergids. So the filiform apparatus, so it's present in ovule. So they have some chemicals. That chemicals will attract the pollen tube. Okay. So this is the example for this statement is example for chemotropism. Got it? It's example for chemotrophism where the the pollen grains are attracted towards the chemical substance present inside the embryo sac. Okay, so this statement is correct. Development of female gametophyte in typical angiosperm is monosporic. So if we take this uh, what is the answer and the female and male part, the stamen and pistil and all. Okay, so before they are mature, they undergo different stages like megasporum and microsporum. And all. So they are telling like this monospore means like single spore. Okay, so this megaspore mother cell in the ovule undergoes meiosis. Okay, so in that case, the embryo sac develops from the single functional megaspore. Okay, only one spore will be there that is called as MMC, megaspore mother cell. Got it? So from the megaspore mother cell, okay, from the megaspore mother cell, it's a single cell actually. Single mono means single, right? One. So from the single cell, the female gametophyte are developed. Got it? So D and E option is correct. So finally, the correct option will be C. A, B, D, and E. 17th question. You see 17th question solution. Assertion is gaitonogamy is genetically same as autogamy. Yes, gaitonogamy is actually it's a cross-pollination. Autogamy is self-pollination. But anyway, they have asked is genetically same as autogamy. Yes. Okay. Because gaitonogamy, like genetically, it is a self-pollination. It's like autogamy is genetically is a self-pollination. So there is no genetic variation. Heterogamy, in parts of theory, okay, we can tell it as a cross pollination. But the thing is genetically, okay, they are involved the transfer of pollen grain from one like it's from one male to female. Okay, so pollen grain will be transferred from one stamen to a pistil. So mechanically, it looks like it's different actually. Gaitonogamy is mechanically different with autogamy, but you're genetically same as autogamy because it's the same, the fertilization gamete takes place. The genetically the new plant will be formed. So in that case, gaitonogamy is genetically same as autogamy. So assertion is correct. We take the reason. Heterogamy transfer of pollen grains occur from one plant to another plant. So this gaitonogamy, so xenogamy is different, okay, so it's different plants. But if you take this gaitonogamy, it's not about the different plant, it's about different flowers. Okay, so type of cross-pollination where it occurs between the same plant but different flower, that is called gaitonogamy. Okay, so in that case, the reason is false. The assertion is correct, the reason is incorrect. Okay, 18th question, identify the correct set of statements. A structural and functional unit between fetus and maternal body is called placenta. You have to find the correct statement. Okay, structural functional unit between fetus and maternal body is called placenta. Yes, that's the connectivity between the mother and the fetus, right? So through that, the fetus will obtain all the food, everything. Okay, so all like the excretion, nutrition, every process happens through that placenta. So option, that is statement one is correct. During pregnancy, the level of cortisol, prolactin, and thyroxine are increased. During pregnancy, the level of cortisol, prolactin, and thyroxine are increased. So, so they have like pregnancy, during the time of pregnancy, the cortisol, prolactin, thyroxine. So thyroid hormone. Okay, so it's about the metabolism. Okay, so that metabolic hormones will be altered. So that will be more. Metabolism takes place, right? Thyroxine. It takes prolactin. It's about the lactating hormone. So it is required because The prolactin will be, pro is actually the before precursor of the lactin. So this prolactin will be high, it will be ready for producing the milk. Okay. Then the cortisol, stress hormone will also be high. Okay. So that stress hormone, like they have some mood swings and all. Okay. So that is also correct. B. C falls in the maternal blood. The inner cell mass contains stem cells which have the potency to give rise to all the tissues and organs. Okay, so in maternal blood, so that is mother's blood, have this, so that is actually from taken from the placenta, like that cell is called as stem cells. Now, what is the work of the stem cells? What property they have? They can able to produce new cells. They have the potency to give rise to new cells, tissues. Okay, so that is the work of the stem cell. Got it. So C option is also correct. D. The doctor inject oxytocin to induce delivery. Okay. D statement. The doctor inject oxytocin to induce delivery. Actually, the oxytocin is naturally produced in a female's body during the labor time, during the delivery time. So they are, as oxytocin helps in the relaxation, contraction of uterus. Okay. But anyway, doctor will inject oxytocin. Synthetically, they can use oxytocin. We can inject oxytocin in a mother's body. Okay. E statement, colostrum contains several antibiotics. Actually, the colostrum contains antibodies, not antibiotics. They are given like they contain several antibodies. Now, okay, fine, that's correct. But they are given several antibiotics. No, there is no antibiotics in colostrum. Okay, so E option is wrong. The correct option will be A. A, B, C, D. 19th question. The number of chromosomes in parents and offspring of particular species remains constant due to. Okay, so that is, so we have to see like the parents, that is sex determination, where the 46 chromosome present in male will be halfly reduced into 23 chromosome. Likewise, in female, 46 chromosome are reduced into half. It is 23 chromosome. This 23 chromosome and this 23 chromosome during the fertilization they combine and the offspring will get the 46 chromosome. Right? That is the meiosis process. That is the reduction process used to say. Meiosis, otherwise called as reduction theory or reduction cycle. Okay. Yes, the number of chromosomes in parents and offsprings of a particular species remains constant due to. That's why. So, if this process, if this halving or this reduction process doesn't occur, what happens? Okay, the 46 chromosome will be remaining as same in a father's body. Likewise, in mother's body also 46. Then 46 plus 46 will be 92. 92 chromosome will be there in offspring, but that is not actually, it won't be a human thing, right? Human has 46 chromosome. It's not a human thing. Okay, so that has to be done with the help of meiosis. Got it. So that reduction process happens in meiosis. So we have to read the option. Doubling of chromosome because I don't know, no doubling. Doubling won't be occur. So option A is wrong. Option C is also wrong. We take B and D. Halving of chromosome during gamete formation. Halving of chromosome after gamete formation. So it happens during gamete formation. So in case of male, it occurs during the process called spermatogenesis. That is formation of sperm. So during this process itself, it's not after the process, during this process itself, the reduction of chromosome occurs. Likewise, in female, it's oogenesis. And during the oogenesis process itself, the halving of chromosome takes place. So in D option, they have given after gamete formation. No. So option B is correct. Okay, the last one, the direct one. What is the full form of AIDS? Okay, it's acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It's not acute. Acute means very short term of disease, right? Acute means short term disease. Chronic means long term disease. So that's not correct because AIDS is it's a permanent one. HIV is caused by HIV virus. Okay, where the immune system is destroyed completely. Got it? Destroyed completely so that the person who got this HIV, they often get prone to different several diseases and infection. So HIV is a virus, okay, which causes AIDS. AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Syndrome is collection of symptoms, group of symptoms. Option C is correct.